The last section of our mindset training for level one. I want you to essentially walk away from this entire mindset training, not necessarily with knowing exactly what needs to happen, but with a better understanding of what growth is going to mean to you. And to, today with this one, we're going to really like just think about fear and how we're going to face the fear, and that is the foundation of having an achievable goal. Because as we've gone through before, why the goal is there, it's the aim. And on that journey, there are going to be fears that we need to face. And generally, how we've avoided those fears have led to bad habits. And so we just want to learn how to stop. So that's the main focus of today is we need to learn how to stop. We don't always want to do that. I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn how to have the good habit. I need to learn how to do the hard work. We don't need anything really. We don't need more of anything. We need to look at what we already have. We need to stop and then allow ourselves some space to just face the fear. And that is the foundation of how a goal is achievable. Okay. So again, with the whole like process of stopping so that the fear can be faced, we have to think about why we have avoided these fears. And so we've gone through our beliefs and our mindset shifts we need to make. We've gone through what it's really going to mean to understand your goal and the aim. Now, on this journey, we need to start facing some fears and a few things, right? Your overthinking is for you to avoid the fear. Your distracting yourself is for you to avoid the fear. Your self-doubt is for you to avoid the fear. And those are kind of three of the very big things that we find ourselves in. We'll overthink what needs to happen, what needs to be gained, what needs to be done. We will be distracting ourselves from what we think is very difficult, or essentially distracting ourselves is the fear of whatever it is that we know we need to deal with, but we don't want to deal with that. We rather want to go out there and do that thing and be able to do that because then we won't be scared, right? And so that leads to doubt. And then the doubt is also just us avoiding the fear. Your doubt is you just trying to stay away from that thing that you're actually scared of doing. And so there has to be a way through, as we've said, and there are many things that we can go and do that will have to help us through this process and lead us towards growth. And so when it comes to the fear is pointing out what really matters to you. There is something that really matters to you. That is where we want to head. The fear isn't that you are scared of being able to do this whole process of being healthy, losing the weight, or whatever. The fear is just pointing out what really matters to you. And it probably really matters to you that you've lived a life where you've been unhealthy and now you want to be able to not keep living this life. So let's just figure out, okay, what is the fear pointing to um in regard to what really matters to you? And you need to really pour your courage into what really matters to you and not what others tell you is required. Other people are going to show you a very easy way of doing it, which is generally not the case. They're going to always try and show you what the shortest way to get there is. Five simple, easy steps to wake up, and all of a sudden, magically, you just get there. No, your fear is pointing out that there's actually something that really matters to you, and then you need to be able to point to that in your life. Okay? Maybe it really matters to you that you end up falling into bad habits and it leads to an unhealthy outcome, but you know that that's because you're scared of something, and then you're scared of having to figure out what it means for you to get through that. And the cycle just keeps going, and you just keep looping back into these ways that you can end up coping. And so the overthinking is generally a big part of that. We're going to be going into overthinking more. We recently did a call on that. So if you haven't listened to that, we can send it through to you. But again, the courage isn't for you to be able to all of a sudden do hard things. You have to just pour courage into doing something that means something to you. Now, this process, this challenge, there's something that you can go find in it that will mean something to you, or you can see what all the other people are doing. You can see how all the other people are hitting 2x their steps every day. You can see how they are finding things in their life, and immediately you will find an excuse as to, oh, I can't do that. I have this thing in my life, or I have a desk job, or I have this. That's just you reinforcing the fears you have. This community and this whole process you're in right now needs to be one where you can pour courage into yourself and see other things as just things that are happening out there and how other people go through their journey as an example that it has to be possible, not an example of where you are lacking. Okay. So your fear, again, it's pointing out that something really matters to you, and your avoidance of that is the fear, and the avoiding the fear in that whole process. So next, the overthinking is your mind searching for safety. You just want to find a safe place where you feel like, okay, I can be here and I can do all these things I want to do, and so your experience and story with safety needs to change to one where you feel safe with yourself and not in pleasing others. So I've said this before to our clients, like, I don't care what you do. I can put the plan in place. We can give you all the tools. We can guide you. We can support you. Like, that's all I can do. Like, we as coaches, we can put this whole layout step by step. And essentially that's where we end, and like we can't do it for you. Like I'm not gonna place my self-worth on whether or not you're able to do things. Like, I'm gonna do my best to help you, trust me. But like at the end of the day, like your experience with the story has to change. And you need to realize that the safety that you've believed is not there, and you need to go find it out there in the world with ways to deal with this thing. That needs to change. So once you can find that it's not in pleasing others or doing what other people tell you needs to be done to achieve your goals, you can then in that process learn to regulate yourself, bring yourself back to yourself into the present moment, and then that is where you can take action. So once you can see that, okay, there's an old story, as we've discussed, and you actually just safe, you're fine. Like everything's in like involved in this process, and you need to accept everything, and it's fine, you'll be fine. Then you can bring yourself to the present moment, because you can only find yourself where you are. You're not gonna be there magically, like here, this is where you're at, and so this is where you need to take an action. You're not gonna get to the point where you can take action. You're here now, and this is the only place you can take action. Hence why people wait for Monday, because they think they'll get there and be able to take action. No, here's where you need to take action and start learning, okay? Actions are easier to take in the present versus the past or the future. And if you keep believing you should have taken those actions, or you keep believing you will be able to take those actions, you can literally take that with you to tomorrow. Tomorrow, you'll believe I should have taken that action. I'll be able to take that action. Day after, same thing. So, being able to understand that actions are only able to be taken in the present moment, but then also understanding that you are safe right now. You can just start taking action, lower your expectations. The goal is the aim. We are here to just start taking action and learn more about ourselves. Okay. And then the results have to happen because you are engaged in taking action now. Okay. Your doubt is asking for clarity. And in this process, if you can gain a bit of clarity around how you've been living your life, engage in this process of how do I find the moments where I can break through, you're going to get the clarity you need. And so, like I said before, if you're in this challenge to be happy and achieve all the goals that you've never been able to, you're not going to find the clarity because you're constantly going to be defending the old story. And so all the doubt you have is just because you don't have clarity. Use this challenge, use this plan, use the program, coaches, the community, the support to help you get clarity in your own life. Okay. What is it that you need clarity on? And how can I engage in this process, drive awareness back to the present moment to where I can take actions? And I promise you, so many things can change for you. You need to ask yourself questions and get curious about yourself instead of assuming the worst, right? When you gain a bit of this clarity, you can ask yourself, oh, what does it really mean to me to be healthy, be active every day in a way that I enjoy doing it? Like, not because my friend is doing this new training program, not because someone else is doing this diet, and like essentially that's never going to mean anything to you because you haven't gone through any process of taking action, you haven't found clarity, and you have not been able to face your fear. Like whatever other people have gone through and faced for them to get results to then come and tell you, oh, this thing works, means nothing to you because you haven't gone through the process of finding some clarity. So hence this challenge should provide you with some clarity in your life. And I really wish for you to get really good results towards the goal that you initially set. But at bare minimum, if you can be open to gaining some clarity on yourself and your lifestyle, that is essentially how you can ask questions and be curious. Um, and slowly the doubt will just go away and you'll just end up moving towards clarity and questions about what it is you are looking for. So stop, okay? Pour the courage towards what truly matters to you. Stop and see that you are safe with yourself and in the present moment where you have access to actions and things that you can just do now, and how others feel will never be in your control, or what other people think will never be in your control. Stop and see that doubt is just wanting you to find some clarity, but you won't find clarity in the future. You can only find it now in just being involved in the process, and stop so that you can accept everything. Okay? The fear is a part of change, and once you can just accept that, you can just engage with it and you can just be with it. You can just be here right now and accept everything involved, right? If, for example, if I go drive in Dubai, this place is crazy and I'm constantly expecting that things should go my way. I'm always going to see the situation in front of me as, oh, this person should do this, this should happen. But if I can just accept that, oh, well, I know for a fact that on this journey today, six people are going to cut me off, five people are going to do this. I know it's going to happen and I've accepted it. So I'm just going to accept all of it. I'm going to accept that there's going to be some good views. There's going to be this that comes along my way. I'm just going to try and keep moving forward and deal what's right in front of me. If there's no traffic, but there's a car right in front of me that's blocking me, Doesn't help that I get upset with this car because I can clearly see there's a way forward. I'm never going to get there because there's something right in front of me that needs to be dealt with. If I can't deal with this situation and accept this for what it is, I can't move forward. So thinking about how I can just accept everything so that I can deal with this, gain some clarity on what's happening in front of me, it's way easier to just move forward from there. But you can only do that once you stop. Okay? Stop, face the fear of what's in front of you, and then accept that as the foundation of how any goal can be achieved going forward. Okay? I'm going to keep this one short so you can go and listen to it again easily, go through it, understanding the doubt, the overthinking, and why you are distracting yourself. And like, make notes on it. Like, go and write down. Like, I distract myself via A, B, and C generally at this time of the day when I feel like this. I tend to overthink when I'm about to try and do X, and I have self-doubt around A, B, and C. Go and write that down, and then just let that be a part of how you think about bringing your awareness to the present moment and what it is that you need to just try and focus on here. The more you do that, you will gain so much clarity on your limiting beliefs, what your goal is going to mean to you, and what a good lifestyle to you is going to mean. And I promise you, hard things that you think are hard now, they just start becoming part of your life. And that's when you just become, you, and you just happy with living this lifestyle that you want to live, and you start making choices, based on all this clarity that you've provided yourself with. Okay. So important to understand this and how this is the foundation of how you're going to achieve your goals. Obviously, all of this is from a mindset perspective. We will be going in the other parts of this level one through so much more, but go and listen to this again, put in some effort into the present so that we can be present and bring our awareness back to the current moment. And I promise you, you are going to head in that direction. Now, how much progress you make is all based on how you can engage with this process and how we can see our goal differently, how we can look at our beliefs and our mindset shifts that need to be made, all the blind spots that are there that we just need to notice, gain some clarity on that. I promise you it's going to be a very, very cool experience going forward. So, after this, there will be some steps that you need to follow. Go post it in the group, go put it out there. Even if it's a few things, like go put it in there, and so we can help keep you accountable on this, okay? If not now, like when are we going to do this? Like it's important to put it out there once and for all. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. All of us are part of this community and we're trying to support each other. And you might as well just start really diving into the difficult things. And so go put it out there, follow the steps below this to so that we know you've done this, you've put in a bit of work before we can move on to level two. So have a great day and we'll catch up soon.